Hi there, it's Derek from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and this is an FD RX-7. Almost the final, I guess this is the final model of them. This one here is a year 2000, 70,000 kilometers on it, and although it went to 2002, there weren't significant changes in the final ones except for these final spec versions, the Spirit Rs. This one here's the, I guess you would consider this one to be the standard one, 70,000 kilometers, really good condition all the way around. This one was bought from auction for exports to Canada. And I'm really happy with the condition of them. FDs can be a little bit finicky. You never know which ones are going to have the low compression engines. I find that they don't hold together that well in the interior. A lot of them have been modified with poor condition modifications. They can be unreliable, though that's not necessarily a trait of them. And they're fantastic cars. And so these tend to be what I would consider a difficult car to buy because they're riskier than most cars. They also cost less compared to other cars because of those risks. And so there is some reward, some potential reward there for you. 70,000 kilometers makes this a really low mileage one compared to all the FDs out there. Now the car's already up to temperature, and so we're okay to turn them off. And something I've gotten used to doing with the FD is when you go to turn them off, I give them a throttle blip, like this. And the reason for that is because the FD engines are obviously not like a real engine, pardon me, not like your typical engines or a piston-driven engine. They're a rotary engine, and they like to inject gasoline in them, and they like to flood if you don't burn off that gasoline that's been injected. There's a lot more to that, so if you're interested, go look on that on Google. Anyways, everything in here looks to be okay. Now I did not check the coolant on this one as I normally do because this one just came in hot today. And if I open this up, we got volcano hands, which is sort of like real volcanoes, putting your hands inside it, except it's not really the exact same. But it will burn your hands pretty well, and I do not like that. Now, no problems here with accident damage or rust on the suspension struts. Everything here is in stock condition. In fact, the whole car is stock, I believe, right down to the BBS wheels that come on it. And this being a late model, you have the better looking front end. Now I put the headlights up just because I think the looks of that is really cool. And so they do function. It's aluminum hood. I don't know why, but people who say it that way, they love it when I say it that way. And so if I'm trying to get people to like me, I'm going to continue. And there you go. This looks great in white. So good. And RX-7s, man, when you drive them, they feel kind of more special than almost anything else, even higher priced cars. Very cool cars, these are. And so I'll quickly go over this for you. It's a year 2000 RX-7. This is a Type RB S package. I'm afraid I don't know what the S package is for the Type RB. I'm sorry. Auction grade 3.5, but I'd really say that auction grade 4 would be suitable for this one. Interior B, aftermarket exhaust, wheels, suspension, steering wheel. Interior and exterior have been cleaned. Now, exhaust, yes, that's aftermarket. I think that these are, like I said before, I think they are the original BBS wheels that came on these. This was a popular type of BBS wheel to have at this time for something like an S package or like a, you would pay extra and you could get wheels and exhaust and suspension or something. The suspension on it may be aftermarket. It may be the original sporty suspension. Like for an example here, we got this Miata that is right here. Woo. And this one is on original suspension, but it is Bilstein with adjustable dampening here. You can adjust your dampening with this, and that's the original. And so it wouldn't put it past me that there would be something like that on this car, which was built around the same time, because this is a 99 and, oh no, this is a 2000 and that Miata is a 99. Okay, so airbag lamp is on. That's because of the aftermarket steering wheel. The dashboard comes up like warped. It's a very 90s thing. I'll show you what it is. It's not really something that concerns me that much, and it's less warping than I would expect. So if you take a look here around the glove box, really not something that bothers me at all. And the doors close properly, which most FD doors don't, and the engine sounds smoother than most FD engines. And this is the late model one, so you get the full 280 horsepower. Interior one part dirty, but it's actually really clean. Underside surface rust, actually not that bad. It says right baffle dented. Now, I didn't notice anything on it. I've taken a close look at it. I don't notice anything. When you get a right baffle dented, you can put your finger along here, and you'll feel it like a half a millimeter or a millimeter different at one end than the other, and that's okay. Same thing goes here, and this one's okay. I think it is a misdiagnosis by the auction inspector. Maybe he was having a bad day. Various scratches and dents, wheels scratched, winter tires on here. So, front bumper lip, paint cracked. Windshield rock chip, repainted panel here. Otherwise, the body's pretty good. It says U2 here. I'll show you what that is. It's on the fender right here. This is like the worst dent on the car. Okay, and this. It is very low with a fairly long front. And so that means that you can easily bottom that out, easily damage this lip. Luckily, this lip can come off. You can paint it and you can put it back on after fixing that. And then you can't see it very well, but there's some spider cracks in this area here. Paint cracks there, easy to see because of the contrast. And we got the same thing on this corner here with some big cracks in this area and some even bigger ones over here. Someone has painted them so they don't show up so much. Okay, just have a quick look at the side panels. I do have extra videos of this, but I think this is good to see. You can see high quality paint there, and even the repainted section looks to be done very well. Okay, so let's do a once around here, and this is the last report that I get of the day. In fact, the lamps in the park are on now. That means too late to be taking pictures. This video is taken, let's see, December 20th? This is the second to shortest day of the year, isn't it? And there's our sunset. You can't really see it. Isn't that a picture to be seen? RX-7 on the streets of Japan. In the fall, with the leaves on the ground. Yeah, these cars, not only are they great cars, but they're kind of perfect cars for Japan because they're still rather small. They have kind of the perfect amount of power for a Japanese road. You don't have a lot of straight roads in Japan, nor do you have the ability to really run a car flat, like flat out. And so this gives you, like, it makes it way more important that the cars handle good, but not only that, but feel good, even when they're not near their limits. And the RX-7 has a special way of feeling better than most other cars. Part of it's the engine, part of it's the suspension, part of it is watching people look at you when you're in the car and them saying, man, I wish I was as cool as that guy. This is the late model wing on the back. Okay, I want to show you the interior of the trunk because they're never as clean as it is in this one. I think that this car had been prepped by a company called Garage R, because there's a sticker on the back here. They're a dealer that deals mostly in Skylines, hence the stealing of Nissan's intellectual property there. And they're a kind of a high-end dealer, and so I think that they did the detailing on this car for the purpose of selling it, but then they didn't sell it. That dealer has huge markups. Now, I can't say the price of this one at auction, but I have seen the prices of the FDs that they have, and they're really high, like $50,000 high. And I can't say how much, if that's how much this one would sell for, but I guess they go for the higher end cars, and they're very good at cleaning them up. So you can see a very clean interior here. These are the windshield wipers. They look like they're good wipers on there. The ones that are on the front are winter wipers, which have this casing around them so that water can't go in between the hinges and then freeze, which prevents them from working properly. And then underneath here, a very clean spare tire. Somebody actually took that out and cleaned it because the spare tires start to get dusty over time. That's the attention to detail. Okay, into the car here. FD interiors, I think on the later model ones they got less squeaky. I don't know why. Oh, that beeping is annoying. But like the console here, you can kind of hear it a little bit. Yeah. But you can't have everything. You can't have the perfect car. So I don't like the steering wheel. It is smaller than average. not smaller than average, smaller than the official steering wheel on here. I find the original FD steering wheel to be rather big in my hands, and I don't really like it that much. This smaller one is nice, but I don't like how it's kinked here. I don't like my steering wheels anything except for round, but a lot of people would like that. That's a Momo steering wheel. Stylish, in good condition. Metal pedals, I don't know if those are stock or not. This piece here, if people have watched all of the initial D, you'll know about that. That one, there's a bolster for your knees, so when you're going around corners quickly, you don't have hard plastic on your knees. It's like a softer, conformable material so that your knee doesn't get hurt when you corner too quickly using non-sport seats. Used to be a thing in Japan in the 90s, back when Japan was basically on the top of the world, especially with cars. So very, very little amount of scratching in this area. Another thing you gotta watch out for with your FDs. And I don't think I mentioned in this video, but the engine runs so much smoother than most of the FDs that we see come through. And you can't really protect against that, but you can definitely be happy when you get one that's like that. And then, what's this? The gauge faces are beige? I don't know anything about that. So there's glue marks on the dashboard here. It's kind of unsightly, and more here. You can see some more of that deformation in the dashboard right there. Bit of a scratch here. This one here is a late model and it has a different type of finish than on the earlier ones that probably scratches less. And barely any wear on either of those pieces. And so as far as FDs go, like, you can get some that are generally not that expensive, but you can't remake it original feeling, no matter how hard that you try. It's just not worth the money that you put into it in order to try. And then the chassis starts to feel stressed. Yeah. So something like this is going to be collector's quality going forward. Except the seatbelt doesn't go back into place. Oh, I see. They have an attachment here. I don't know why people like those. I don't know at all. Okay. That is going to be the end of the video. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Very gorgeous. Oh, such a good looking car. And every year that goes by, they start looking better and better. Because all of the other cars, I don't think styling of cars these days is bad. It just looks so different that when you have fewer and fewer great looking cars like this on the road, they really stand out more. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.